it's so amazing that we actually decided to do a teenage campaign.
Yeah. How does it make you feel that you run a business for women that's funded by men?
This is how you save your marriage.
Wife
You bring
happy
your
life.
husband and your husband must listen
Yeah.
to the wife's command. What
What
else can I do? What are my treatment options? And that is Hi guys, I'm Biba.
And I'm Heidi, and we are Aesthetically Sisters. Welcome back to another episode, guys.
Can you believe it? Episode 12.
Wild.
Guys, we've come so far.
I know. Now, last time we obviously spoke about dating and Biba's, little breast treatment. They're healing great, guys.
Looking great, guys.
They're still a little bit swollen,
Very
but
swollen.
that's expected.
And they're yet to take their position.
Yeah, they will soon, though.
They will.
Now, I actually want to get straight into it because I'm still a bit angry at the conversation that we just had.
What happened?
Now, guys, we were meant to be talking about something completely different today, but I'm that
She
triggered,
changed the topic
and I'm that it's
right
fresh
now.
in my mind. I need to talk about it now.
Address
so a
it, my sister.
client brought her husband in for treatment today. And this man had the audacity to say to me while he was paying for his wife's treatment, how does it make you feel that you run a business for women that's funded by men? And it pissed me the fuck off because firstly, it is not for women, it's for everyone. And men are just so scared to admit that they love looking good and they want the botox and they want the filler and they want the skincare. And it just reminds me of the episode we read about living in a man's world and that men have so much audacity.
And entitlement.
What do you mean? How do I feel? I feel great that I can offer services that make people feel better, not just women, men too, because we have male clients.
Plenty of them.
Male cosmetics and male treatments are on the rise, guys.
Oh yeah, there is an uproar in male aesthetics.
I'm so triggered.
Especially in Sydney.
Yeah.
I would say more than maybe anywhere in the world.
I feel like in the recent years, there has been an increase because men started doing veneers and men started getting hair transplants and men started doing skincare and stuff like that. So there definitely was an increase in starting to look better and take care of themselves. And now it's just
out of hand. It's out of pocket. No, it kind of is. When you're seeing these men, all right, and they've got better eyebrows than I do, more shaped than mine are. Okay, they're doing their botox, they're doing their fillers, they've got the veneers, they've got a hair transplant, they're going to the solarium.
That's a lot.
They're getting laser hair removal.
Wow. I don't even do all that.
And then the skin treatment, our calendar is backed up with men.
Yeah, I have noticed, especially in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Especially last year. I think we saw most men than we have in the whole 7 years that we've been here. But men are genuinely becoming more,
aesthetically aware.
And we love that. We love a man that takes care of himself. But
I think there's a line that needs to be drawn.
If your eyebrows are sharper than mine, we have a problem.
Major problem.
If your teeth are wider than mine, we also have a problem.
I can't.
Or
I can't.
if you have horse veneers.
Well, that's half of Sydney.
It's just an ick.
It's half of Sydney.
It's such an ick.
It's the horse mouth and then the glow in the dark white.
Yeah.
They're so white. They're
it's not the vibe.
It's really not.
It's not hot either.
It's not.
I don't know who's telling you it's hot, but
I don't know. And I love that men are investing into their appearance and how they look and how they're presenting.
Yeah.
But I just think there's just a fine line I feel like is getting pushed over.
Yes.
Even statistically speaking, since 2022 till now.
Only a couple of years
ago, there's been a 6.1% increase in men and their grooming and aesthetic rise.
Okay. That's a big percent.
That is quite a big percent in just a few years.
Yeah.
Where men are now
taking care of themselves, pampering themselves, manicures.
Exactly. Well, according to another study, 67% of men between the ages of 18 to 35, 36 are influenced by social media with their fashion sense and their aesthetic appearance.
Wow.
That is huge.
That's a massive, massive, massive number.
It's a massive statistic and a big age group that is being just looking at social media and being I've got to change the way I dress. I've got to change the way I
This is
look.
on trend. See, we briefly spoke about this in a previous episode where I was saying women have always been influenced even before social media, like through magazines and what was trending and what everyone else was wearing, and men never looked at that.
Yeah.
Where recently I have also felt, and the statistic now makes a lot more sense, where men are now looking at social media and are being influenced by it. And that's why they're all dressing the same and have a similar taste and whatnot. Which is crazy. I even know, like, with Ashton Hall, that...
Oh, my Godfather. If he does another running video with something flying around...
I actually can't
He's
with him.
such a fucking thirst trap. He's so smart. He is honestly so strategic.
He's very strategic, but because of his videos, like, we've had so many male clients reach out and like, what are the benefits of rubbing a banana on your face? And I'm like, please do not do that. Like, let me show you another product that can help. But like, even him alone has caused such a massive influence to the male aesthetic world, and like
100%.
being bulky and being fit and like taking care of yourself, which I love and I think is important.
Do you love a beefcake? Like, do you like them when they're that?
I think he's very, very bulky.
Very
like,
shredded
I like
and bulky.
a fit-looking man, but like that's a lot. Like, I don't care for like the abs and the traps and the like, that's a lot.
Super defined.
I think just being,
bodybuilder look.
Yeah, I'm not into like that's a lot.
That's a whole beefcake.
That's
There's a market out there for that.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. But yeah, he's a lot for me.
He is.
But very influential man. So hat off to you.
And it's funny because we're seeing now the rise of the younger generation come up. That we recently actually shot a campaign with a teenager because they're now looking at skincare and they're trying to do things. And when you think about it, everyone's got a teenage kid.
100%.
And as they're growing up with their hormone changes, their breakouts and everything, and it's making them self-conscious.
And I feel like growing up, I knew so many males or boys and whatnot that had acne, and it was like we'd never even noticed
That's
it.
right.
But because of social media now, young boys are so much more like aware of like, oh my God, I need to look my best and, look good for Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff. And for the girls.
Because, they've dropped their nuts and now they're finding
themselves. Even my 13-year-old brother, he's in year 8 now, and he's like, oh my God, Heidi, there's this boy in year 9 and he has acne. I don't want to have acne. What do I do?
Yeah.
So now he's cleansing his skin every day and he's using skincare because he doesn't want to have the risk of him breaking out.
Exactly. And I think it's such an important thing to address because when we were coming up, or especially my age group is a lot ahead of yours, a lot older, we didn't have the awareness. Yeah. Like you said, you grew up knowing boys with acne and it was just a normal thing. Yeah. Same here. We didn't have any social media to sort of even bring awareness.
Yeah.
But it is something that needs to start being addressed. So, and I think also delivered in a healthy manner for these teenagers.
Because you don't want to also mess with their confidence at the same time. Like,
absolutely.
I couldn't think of anything worse than being like a raging hormonal teenager boy and then having acne or like a skin condition and being self-conscious because you're like the only one, or everyone you're seeing on Instagram and social media isn't.
That's such an
important
important
girls, I
valid
feel like
point.
that would compare to also a skin condition or like body image as well.
That's
like for girls, that's such a big thing.
It is.
And it does need to be addressed. So
and
our new campaign,
stay tuned for our new campaign. But it's funny that you mentioned that it's not only a female thing in the as teenagers growing up, that even these younger boys. And how often do we get mothers that come in and say, my teenage
sons,
boy, I don't know what to do. He's got, can I bring him in?
Yeah.
Of course you can bring him in.
We welcome everyone.
And I think it's so amazing that we actually decided to do a teenage campaign to bring awareness and normalize it. That's something that needs to be normalized so they're not picking at it. They've got their education. And we need to, they don't know.
That's so true. There's really not much out there that I've personally seen about teenage boys and how to deal with acne.
And teenage boys, we need to mold them because they're going to be the future men.
Yes.
And we need better versions of what we've got right now.
No solarium.
So this is what we're working on, trying to create the best future men. Mothers, you can thank us later. Future girlfriends, you're welcome.
Us later. That's so funny, but it's so true.
It is.
But I definitely love when a mum brings in her son.
Nothing
It's
makes
so
me happier.
cute.
Or even a wife brings in a husband.
Yeah.
I love that. It's so funny. We've got two complete opposite ends of the spectrum with our female clients. The ones that bring their husbands or their partners in.
Yeah.
We'll have the ones, the ones that, I love them. They'll text me before, I'm bringing my man in, consult him, but don't tell him everything he needs. I don't want him to look too
everything.
good. I don't want him to look too
Just
good.
enough.
Just enough to keep him quiet about his lines. But not enough that anyone's going to look at him and think he's so much hotter.
I find that so funny.
Absolutely.
But
and we're here for the girls.
We're here for the girls. We're going to listen to you, of course.
Yeah. He's not getting his full
your wish is our
dosing.
command. I love
And
that.
then we get the other
opposite. We're like, if they're not allowed to have it, we don't want him to have it.
Or please do everything.
Yeah.
The men come in and they're like,
I'm
only here
because
because of her. And I'll be like, all right, look in the mirror, tell me what bothers you.
Nothing.
And
it's
they're
whatever
like,
she
nothing.
wants.
And then the wife will be like, completely get rid of his crow's feet. And you see the argument.
They freak out.
They freak out. And they're like, I don't want to look like I've got no movement. This isn't that. And the wife is like, do it.
I don't want to look
It's
fake.
saving. This is how you save your marriage.
You just happy wife.
You bring
happy
your
life.
husband, and your husband must listen
Yeah.
to the wife's command. But
love
yeah,
that.
and it's changing. It's changing because I'm seeing men like that come in, but they look like they're boys from the area.
Yeah.
They're just your boys. They're hanging out in the area. They've got their beards, tall, dark, and handsome. Look like they've just come off a job site.
Sydney boy.
Your typical Sydney boy, and they come in and they're like, I don't know what this line
happening.
is, and I don't want it, but I also don't want to look like
I've had anything done.
Exactly.
So we found what's it called? A fine line.
It's called brotox.
Brotox, where you can have your Botox, have the result, but no one's gonna know.
And it's we're here for the bros
And the
also.
beauty of Botox is, because I say this every single time I treat a male, no one is really going to realize because
That's
it
right.
happens gradually and slowly. It's not something that happens overnight.
That's right.
So you do the treatment, within a couple of days it starts to kick in.
Yeah.
Within 2 weeks you have the end result. So it's not like you're walking out of here looking
Exactly.
disfigured.
And I feel like that's why men always are a lot more comfortable starting with Botox as opposed to
than
fillers.
Yeah.
And because that's, like you said, their biggest concern is, I don't want to look like I've had treatment done.
Yeah.
And the best thing is I tell my clients, you're not going to walk out of my clinic with any form of result.
Yeah.
You're not walking out with the result.
It takes
the beauty, like Heidi said, it takes about 2 weeks, and slowly, every day, the muscles are relaxing more and more, and no one picks up on it, and they love it. Mm-hmm. Or we get the men that come in and be like, just do a tiny little bit, and like I'll tell them what they need, and they're like, no. I'd rather come back in 2 weeks and add more. And it's always them that come back and they end up being like, do everything.
Please, I need more.
Wow, this was amazing.
That is the funniest. I'm like, okay, you need like 22 units. No, only do 10. And I'm like genuinely, that's not going to work. Like you need to trust the process.
That area needs 22.
You need to trust it, but it's so funny. And but I love that they're starting to engage more in it.
I love it. And I love that men are coming in with questions.
Yeah.
Before they just come in and be like, I don't know. Like my wife told me to come. Or the wife would send us an email or call us and with her concerns.
Pre-warning.
And then the husband just shows up at the door. And he's like, I don't know what my wife said. But men now are no longer like, what does my wife say? Or what do you think? Or I saw this online and can you tell me more about it?
Yeah.
Or when men are coming in and they're like, I'm just feeling a little bit hollow here.
Yeah, I look tired.
I look tired, and men are jumping onto the filler wagon.
I love
and
that.
I'm here for it.
I think they should be on the filler because it can be done in a way that makes them look like themselves but makes them look better.
Exactly.
And when they're looking at social media and they're competing with the Ashton Halls and Zac Efrons of the world,
Wow.
we're going to be...
Well, I love it because they're coming in and when I said with questions, they're not only just with questions, they're interested to know what else can I do? What are my treatment options? And that's a 6.1% increase of men aesthetics in the last few years.
Yeah.
It's these certain questions and their interest. And they're like, all right. And when you come to our clinic, we're not sort of being like, all right, you want that forehead line gone?
No
it's
worries,
gone,
it's
get
gone.
out. We're done. No. We break it down and we speak about all the components of aging.
Yeah.
And we explain it all. And then that's how they're starting their skin treatments and they're starting skin journeys.
And that's important as well. As you have to have your skin done if you're doing these other treatments because it needs to complement one another.
Absolutely. I love nothing more when our single dads come in and be like, can I get another cleanser? I'm like, you got one last week. Oh, my son used it, but he was using it on his body. I'm like, oh, no. These are very expensive skincare products. Move them away. But they're like, the fathers that are like, oh, our sons are starting to use them too because we told them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is how it's all creating. It's amazing. It's like you're watching the world change
evolve
right before your eyes in the
love
aesthetic
it.
world. And it's just where our heart is.
100%.
And we love helping you, men. So if you guys do have any questions, concerns, want to know more, want to know what your treatment options are,
how to look fresh and hot.
exactly,
without
and not
looking
look
fake.
done.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what we want. We want results that are noticeable, but no one realize you've had the treatment.
Yes.
We want to keep
Amen.
you young and hot, but we don't want to go over that line, right?
100%.
And we'll talk about your eyebrows if they're extremely shaped. I will let you know.
I will tell you.
I will tell you. Yeah, I think this has been great for men.
100%.
I think men needed like a bit
that
of a
reassurance. You
the
guys aren't
reassurance.
alone. Everyone's in the same boat, I tell you.
And it's still, I feel like, a little bit taboo for men, despite the increase and the rise. Men still feel like, oh, can I come in here? How often do men come in and they're like,
Are there
I'm
any
so
other guys
sorry.
that
Are there any other
come?
men?
Yeah.
Like, we're sorry to be. And you have the men that sit in the waiting room like this.
Because they don't want to see anyone.
They don't want
It's
to
so
see
funny.
anyone. They don't want to be seen. And it's so cute because you see the way they walk in and then the way they walk out with such confidence and they're like,
then they come back again
feel
and again.
at home. When they call, they're like, hey, it's me, can you rebook us? We're like, who's me?
And then they bring their friends in.
Yeah.
It's a whole journey,
So
guys.
men,
it's an experience.
it is so okay to
And
stay
it's-
on top
yes.
of your
and
aesthetic.
it's nothing we look down
appearance.
upon.
No.
And we don't think that you're feminine and
No.
you're, you know,
No, I don't think it's feminine at all. I think it's quite courageous.
it is.
For a man to come forward to a female, like, or what they think is a female-based clinic,
Yeah.
and be like, I'm not happy with the way I'm aging. So, man, we are so proud of you.
We are
We
proud.
love you, and we are here for you to hold your hand
Through
the
the
whole
journey.
anti-aging journey, and keeping you young and hot and feeling your baddest.
Coming from a woman who hates men, I just can't hear the words
I
come
know,
out
but
of
I
her.
love my job.
I
So
know,
I
I
don't
know.
like men for me.
Don't
I don't
date
like
her,
being
but she'll
involved
be
with
happy
men.
to treat you.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I'm really good with faces.
She is. She's great with faces.
Oh, I actually got a question. Just because you're
Yeah.
talking, what should a 25-year-old men do, like in terms of like aesthetics? Do you want to maybe talk about? And I can
Add it in.
I believe a 25-year-old man should be coming in for a full face assessment.
I just think
Everyone
any
should
male
start,
over
yeah.
the age of 20 should do something related to their
Skin.
skin, whether you have fine lines or wrinkles or not. I think it's important because genetically or
Yeah.
just scientifically, as we turn 2021, our collagen and elastin starts to decrease.
Yeah.
So you want to be doing skincare and treatments that are going to help with like stimulating collagen and elastin. And we always have this conversation with like friends or clients a lot as well. Like, oh, but I don't have acne, so I don't need skincare. And you don't need to have acne to
correct.
start skincare because there isn't just corrective skincare. The industry has come such a long way where now there are just skincare products that can be used to prevent aging and to help like maintain all the good skin cells and collagen and elastin that you have. So using something that's going to keep the skin hydrated and protected and to keep it anti-aged and
I agree.
stimulated is so important. So in your late 20s or in your mid-20s, if you decide to do Botox, you have beautiful, healthy skin to complement.
But I do believe men from the age of 20 upwards should all be doing some form of facial at some point.
Yeah.
Because men have no idea
No
about
idea
skin
on-
cleansing.
Yeah.
Most men generally train.
Yeah.
They sweat a lot. A lot of men are in the tradie field.
Yeah.
So they're
just keeping your
exposed
skin
to
nice
a lot
and
of
clean
Exactly.
and hydrated.
And when you're seeing men, they're like, we don't know what this is on our nose. And it's like, it's a lot of blackheads, a lot of
congestion,
whiteheads,
a lot of oil.
congestions, a lot of oils.
Yeah.
We need to clear that out. That could all be dealt with.
Yes.
So it's always a good place to start if you're scared to jump to the needle.
Yeah.
And have like Botox or fillers. but to start maintaining your youthful, glowy, clean
100%.
skin.
Especially if you're a tradie.
Absolutely.
You need to be having some sort of decongesting, exfoliating treatment
I
done.
100% agree.
Otherwise, you're going to give me a heart attack.
Yes.
Our producer just asked a question because I said everyone's looking at like Ashton Hall and Zac Efron. I genuinely have no idea what Zac Efron looks like now, and I just saw a photo.
Yeah, we just
And I
saw.
think he's just very overfilled.
Okay, I
in the
also
wrong
think,
places.
obviously, he's gotten older, much
His eyebrows
older.
are thick.
He's definitely, his eyebrows are now thicker than they were when he was on Baywatch. He's got way deeper lines
Can I
in his
see?
face. Yeah, and I feel like he's had buccal fat removal. Have a look
me.
at that. I cannot be wrong. Ever.
Yeah.
I'm not
See,
wrong.
I feel like a lot of people, when they're a bit younger, get the buccal fat
they
removed. But
think
when you're older, you
it-
really start to see it because your facial fat pads are so important for aging and
important.
making you look younger.
Absolutely.
Definitely had filler done in the lower part of
And
his
I
face.
also feel like steroid juice. You know how they get that bulkiness from the steroid juice? And they get, because it's a lot of water
he
retention.
has not aged like a fine wine. Definitely had something in his lips. Poor Dal, you were so hot when I was younger.
Well, he's not to blame. It's his aesthetic practitioner.
Wow. Okay, maybe Zac Efron wasn't the
tap
greatest.
in and I will look after you. I'll take care of your face and maintain that hot, beautiful Lebanese background you got.
Is he Lebanese?
Yeah, he's got Lebanese in him.
Wow, I did not know that. Interesting.
Yeah. That's why he's a hottie. That's a cry. But look at this photo. You can see where his anti-wrinkle's gone wrong. And that smile has been botched, poor guy.
Yeah.
Beautiful smile to
He had a
Nothing, poor thing. See, look, and it can happen. Unfortunately, there are side effects and adverse events that can happen in the industry, but it's a risk you're willing to try.
And it's all about finding the correct practitioner to either help reverse those changes
Yes.
and have you age gracefully. When we say age gracefully, that includes treatments.
Yes.
There's no such thing as aging with nothing anymore. Otherwise, you're going to look like a shriveled up prune.
No.
And ain't nobody wants to look like a shriveled up prune.
No, not
You
one
come
person.
out of my clinic and after your journey, you're a juicy raisin.
We love that.
All right. Well, you guys, leave us a comment and let us know what you feel is changing in the men's world aesthetics.
Yes.
We're interested to know.
100%. And let us know what your male icks are, because don't you worry, an episode is coming about
Everyone's
all our male
asking.
icks. I'm sorry, guys, we love you, but there are
Next
just one too
episode.
many things we need to talk
Maybe
about.
next episode. So also leave us what your male icks are for sure.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and wherever you're listening to this podcast, make sure you leave us a like and a comment and ensure to follow us. We love you.
We love you guys.
Mwah.
Bye.